In the face of Nigeria's perennial power failure and rising energy costs, exploring alternative energy sources in line with global best practices might be the way out of the woods for the country. Following recent concern by some Nigerians, the Presidency has defended the Federal Executive Council's approval of a 10 billion naira solar energy for the State House, Abuja. The special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Onanuga, noted that the project is to enhance energy efficiency and save costs in the long term. As part of these moves, the federal government also commissioned a 509 kilowatt solar photovoltaic power plant at the head of civil service of the Federation Complex in Abuja. All right, BKO, since this news broke out, we've seen torrent of comments, reactions, But tell us, give us detail. Why is the State House switching, to solar energy?
Why shouldn't the State House switch to solar energy? Is it a crime? Some of us have always demanded that, look, we have so many power generating sources.
Okay.
But we have focused so much on gas-fired plants. I don't know any country that behaves like this. There are other energy sources that you can explore. It cannot be a crime. It's just that everything that government does, people want to criticize, even when it makes absolutely no sense to criticize. What is wrong in renewable energy? We have REA, created by law, to ensure that we create as many off-grid power solutions as we can. I was in Obudu, where for years they didn't have access to power. There is a place called Bottom Hill Community in Obudu. It's at the foot of the mountain. I was there when they gave them, when REA, I went with the former Minister of State for Power, who had the mandate to oversight REA, Rural Electrification Agency, and they gave them electricity. If we see the way the people were jubilating, and then at the top of the mountain, they also gave them solar power, so that the Obudu resort can run on renewable energy. South Africa uses coal largely. Brazil, hydro. We, more than 97% of our power generating capacity is gas-fired. So what is wrong in saying, okay, let's use solar? In India, there is an airport that runs 24 hours on solar. Our people, a lot of our people who are educated, who are based abroad, maybe they don't read, or deliberately they just like argument. Solar, if you are saying let us save money, save costs, solar is way cheaper.
That's where I'm going. It's
way cheaper. How can government decide to go for something cheaper and then it becomes a problem for people? What's going on? We are the ones saying that, okay, the government is wasteful. Government has now gone for something way cheaper. Solar is way cheaper to run. In fact, in my house now, I'm going to install solar because I'm tired of buying petrol. And sometimes there will be light. My family, they've slept off. When I return home, I will see my generator working and there's light in the neighborhood. I don't want that to continue. So I'm going for solar. Even this, my Ogabe Onanuga, is 24 hours on solar. It costs a lot of money to do it, but once you do it,
more sustainable.
It's extremely cheaper to maintain. Look at our universities. Government installed solar in those universities. BUK, go to BUK and see tank farms. I mean, solar panels all over the place. Because we can't have a situation in which university students, it's time for their exams and they don't have electricity. They can riot. So they've installed solar there and taught the students how to maintain it. That is the way to go. What is our own, even our installed capacity? I was looking at, I was doing some research. Our installed capacity is just 380 megawatts, entire solar capacity. Look at a country like Morocco, 830 megawatts of solar, 830 megawatts of solar, 1,800 megawatts for wind energy. Okay. Morocco, total installed energy mix, 12,000 megawatts. And Morocco has plans to move from 830 megawatts to 2,000 megawatts by 2027. When are we going to be like other countries? Egypt has more electricity capacity than it needs. Egypt is now even trying to export electricity to European countries like Cyprus. And when you talk about capacity, it's different sources. How can it be wrong to do solar? What is going on? When you know it's cheaper. And people talk about 10 billion. Okay. Let me tell you, TVC, our engineer just told me yesterday that when we wanted to put solar in this place, we got a bill of 3.2 billion. And people are raving that 10 billion is too much for Aso Rock. People think that Aso Rock is merely the habitation of the president. It extends beyond that. Aso Rock extends beyond where the president lives. So, if solar is cheaper, you know, Mr. President inherited debt.
Yes, he did.
He had to pay. Our barracks. In fact, I want the president now to not stop here. Let the National Assembly be on solar power. Let all our big institutions be on solar. The hospitals, you know, let them be on solar. I was in Borno State. I saw the place where they keep their drugs. 24 hours on solar. It's reliable. So it shouldn't be something that will bother people. If you think 10 billion is too much, then do your research and find out. Everyone knows that in the first instance, it's usually very expensive. But after that, you don't need any other. Okay. It's just like those decoders from Southeast Asia that my friends in Northern Nigeria use. They don't need DSTV. Once they have it, they don't do any subscription, they don't pay, and they are enjoying their thing. So that's the way it is. All right. There's no, people are talking about US. I'm not even going to talk about that because every time, we want to use, for us, let's even use countries in our continent. People are saying, Sebi, the State House, the US State House, they are on solar. People can't be looking for fault all the time. Whether it is solar, whether it is wind, look at wind. We have opportunity. Even along this coast of Lagos, what stops us from using wind?
Exactly, because of the wind there.
Yes. And if somebody decides to do solar, it doesn't mean that he has left the rest of you behind. If we free some of those big entities from the national grid, the national grid will be more stable and will be more efficient.
I think this is what Nigerians need to know.
Exactly.
But this is where I want to come from. I mean, considering the fact that millions of Nigerians are grappling with, blackouts and also bills, electricity bills, why now? Is what most of the questions.
Why not now?
Why now?
Why not now?
But why now that Nigerians are saying, the bills are...
See, the thing is, don't listen to this Ariwoja from people who make comments on YouTube and other places. REA, like I told you, was set up to increase our alternative energy capacity.
That's true.
And they are doing it. The fact that, now, the other part of the story is that they've gone to the head of services office.
Yes.
And they are installing solar there. There's nothing like why now. They are in there to do their job. Let them take it as far as they can take it.
BKO, you know what I noticed? BKO is like that lecturer who asks you, can't you think? Can't you use your head? In fairness, let me say this. BKO should remember that a good number of people who make this comment, they are like mob people. They just react on issues.
Funny people.
You understand? Somebody just control the conversation and they jump on
everybody
without thinking. Because immediately this story came up, I was just looking at my neighbor, whom I've been admiring all this while. Because every time we are talking about band A, band B, band C, we just be looking at us. What are they talking about? What are they talking about? And when he told me then, I felt so foolish. I was looking at the cost of doing it. Now I'm paying so much in the name of band A, band B, band C, and electricity, and even the inverter that I'm using. You understand? When the battery lasts for after 2 years or 3 years, you have to buy another battery. So why not, solar? And that's the question. And like you said, people want these optics. They want the government to say, oh, we feel your pain. Therefore, let's pretend to be with you. Meanwhile, it is our money they are spending, and they'll be spending more. Absolutely. Are you getting the education BKO is right to push? They'll be spending more. So please, if you can just engage in this debate and learn, rather than just thinking we are showing you another way and we don't want to listen.
And they say, that, the argument is, America gives people 24 hours electricity. So that's why the State House in Nigeria does not deserve solar. So are they saying now that there are no poor people in America? That people don't live under bridges in America? That homeless people are not in America?
Because there's another conversation they've not even had. Do you know what it means to pay for electricity in those countries?
So with this switch over,
no, you see, the thing is, what is the argument? Somebody punctures your argument by saying, look, America too, their State House, White House, they are using solar. And then you move on to say, oh, has America not provided electricity for its people? But the point I'm making, when you make such comparisons, if they want to spend ₦1 here, you say, oh, but people are starving. Are people not starving in America?
Of course.
Oh, I get it.
Are there not homeless people in America? So because people are starving, then government must not do anything again. Look at the argument that they shouldn't have completed the Vice President's home. What do you gain if you don't complete it? You've lost all the money that you spent to bring it to the level that it was.